Here is a new hard disk. When you insert a new hard disk into your system in your motherboard, you connect a new hard disk. So then it asks you initialize the disk as MBR or GPT type. Okay. So when you insert a new hard disk, okay, when you are connected a new hard disk, so in your disk management, it asks you to initialize the disk as MBR or GPT. Okay, like this. I inserted a new hard disk, 20 GB hard disk I inserted. So it is asking, it is not initialized. I open a disk management window. Okay, so this is how open disk management. Diskmgmt.msc. Diskmgmt.msc. It opens disk management console. So when you are inserted a new hard disk, it's not showing here, but I will add it. Okay, this is my disk management window. In disk management, I can manage my hard disk partitions, additions, removing and everything. Okay. So when you insert a hard disk, it asks initialize the disk as MBR or GPT. So if you see, this is my disk 1. Convert into GPT means this disk is initialized as a MBR. This is disk 0 showing convert into MBR means it is initialized as a GPT. So I will show you another way. So I will go to the PowerShell. So typing get disk. So I have a 2 hard disk. It shows which hard disk is MBR, which hard disk is GPT. Currently 2 hard disks are there. Same path. You can see disk number 0 is GPT disk. Partition style is GPT. It is a 500 GB hard disk. In PowerShell, I type get-disk. Okay. So in number 1, disk number 1 is my 1 terabyte of disk. The partition style is MBR. So this is MBR disk. This is GPT disk. Okay. So what is the main point of this? Either it is MBR type or GPT. What is the thing? Why it is MBR? Why it is GPT? For example, disk partition style is MBR type. What will happen? This is MBR type. In the hard disk, starting sector, first sector, this MBR record will create it. If you initialize it as a MBR record will be created. MBR means master boot record. Master boot record. MBR means master boot record. Okay. Like this, I can create a partitions. Once I initialize as a MBR or GPT, I can create a partitions. But how many partitions and what type of partitions we can create? Okay, guys, we can create a 3 primary partitions. Actually, 4 primary partitions we can create it. Once 4 primary partitions created, the remaining disk space become unallocated and you cannot use it. So you have to partition the disk with the 4 primary partitions properly. Or you can do 3 partitions. Once 3 partitions completed, make it 4th partition as a logical drive in the extended partition. This entirely extended partition. Okay. So you can create logical drives in this extended partition. Like this. Multiple logical drives you can create in the extended partition. So now we are using a after Windows 7 system, means Windows Vista 7, 8, 8.1, Windows 10, Windows 11 operating system. Okay, so we don't have a choice, guys. Whenever we complete 3 primaries, after that one, you create another partition. You create a first partition, by default it is a primary. You create a second partition, by default it is a another primary. You created another partition, that is a primary. You create a 4th partition, it become logical drive in the extended partition. Automatically the entire remaining space, once 3 primary completed, while you are creating 4th partition, the entire disk become, entire remaining space become extended drive. Our 4th partition become a logical drive in the extended partition. Means 3 primaries and there is one extended, only one extended. In that one there is a number of logical drives are there. So originally MBR 4 primary we can create it, but now up to 4 primaries we can create. You create 4 primary, you can't do anything. So then it is changed, like a 3 primaries, one extended. In a extended we can create a logical partitions. And each partition support maximum 2 terabyte. 2 terabyte. Okay. What is this MBR record? MBR record. Okay. Exactly, this MBR record is nothing but a table, guys. It contains information about your partitions information, your bootloader information, your operating system information stored in MBR records. Okay, so simple record which is created in a first sector of hard disk. Same way, this GPT record GUID partition table. GUID partition table. GUID partition table GPT GUID partition table also contains same information, like what are the partitions you are created and what is their locations, okay, and where is the bootloader and about other drives information. And in GPT you can create multiple primary partitions, 128 primary partitions we can create. So no external, no extended partition, and no logical drives. And each partition support more than 2 terabyte, means around 18 EB. Okay, around 18 EB. Support more than 2 terabyte. It's 18 EB based on certain test books. Maybe version changes, maybe it can be changes, but up to as of now 18 EB maximum. So 128 primary partitions will be created in the GPT. So that's the point. Guys, what is MBR and GPT? MBR and GPT are nothing but a partition styles. When you insert a new hard disk, at disk management, it will ask you initialize the disk. So you have to initialize as MBR or GPT. Another one is if it is a new system, fresh system. So you buy a laptop or a desktop, no OS, no disk related information. It's a fresh disk, no operating system, nothing. Now you have to install an operating system. Then how the disk will be initialized? You cannot initialize without a disk management, right? How the disk will be initialized? You take a new fresh system and there is a hard disk, fresh hard disk it is. How this hard disk get a initialized? This is new system. This is your hard disk and you have a installation of operating system. Okay, we are installing OS in the disk. Disk is not initialized, and how it will be initialized? Guys, you are using a BIOS. Your firmware is BIOS. And you are installing an operating system, right? You are installing a OS. Okay, the disk is become MBR. Disk automatically initializes as a MBR. While installing an operating system, your firmware is BIOS, automatically disk is MBR. So no difference. You are using UEFI. What is UEFI? It is a next version of BIOS, Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. And you are installing an operating system. Which operating system? Latest operating systems support UEFI. For example, Windows 8, 8.1, or Windows 10, or Windows 11, Windows 2012 server, 2016 server, Enterprise Linux 7, 8, 9. These are our latest operating system, support UEFI firmware, and so when you are installing an operating system, automatically hard disk is initialized as a GPT. Okay, you know already how to check it is MBR or GPT. So you can do with the command prompt, or you can go to the PowerShell also. You can try it. And from disk management also, you will understand. Okay, guys, understand what is the difference between MBR and GPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So MBR, master board record. Master board record is created in a start of the hard disk. It contains, like we can create maximum of 4 primaries in olden days, but now we can able to create only 3 primaries. Once we done, so automatically the 4th partition become logical drives. In the extended partition, means 3 primary completed, the entire remaining unallocated space become extended, and there is a logical drives. Each partition support is up to 2 terabytes. GPT, GUID, partition table. GAPT, GUID, partition table. GPT, GUID, partition table. Okay, so this partition table, so we don't have any extended or logical drives kind of stuff. We can create 128 primary partitions. Each partition support more than 2 terabyte in as per certain textbooks, 18 EB. Okay, so this is MBR and GPT. So this is about a disk management, guys. In the disk management, you can use a command called a DISKPART command. You can use a DISKPART command. Go to the command prompt, go to CMD, open run as administrator, go to run as administrator. Yes. Then type DISKPART. You want to manage your disk, so then this is the command DISKPART. For example, I want to see what are my disks are located. List disk. So you have a 2 hard disk. One is 465, another is a 931. Means it's a 500. This is 1 terabyte disk. The first one is GPT type. Second one is MBR type. So no start for a second one. So we can manage it from here with the disk part. Another one is go to disk management window. Already I have opened the disk management window, Diskmgmt.msc. We can initialize the disk. In disk management means initializing the disk, put the disk in offline, online. You can convert a disk into basic to dynamic. Don't do it, guys. It is very dangerous. Okay. Convert your disk into MBR to the GPT or GPT to MBR. Possibilities there. We can initialize the disk to MBR or a GPT. We can convert MBR to GPT. We can convert basic to dynamic. You can make a disk as online and offline possibilities there. Mainly in a partitions we can do. Yeah, tell me.
How do we convert
Okay.
MBR to GPT or GPT?
Sir, what is the default partitions
And
in
one more thing is that
management system?
the status is online. What does it mean, sir?
Online means disk is connected. Online working. So not showing here how to kept in offline kind of stuff, but if you want to disable connect means physically it is connected, but you are disconnecting from your PC logically, like you can say like ejecting type. So we can say make it offline. Okay, it not shows here because it's not server. Okay, online means disk is connected and working. We can able to access them.
Sir, what?
And how do we change GB to MBR?
What is?
How do we change the GB to MBR? Convert?
That is I will try.
Okay.
Currently it is online, unallocated. Can you see convert into GPT? Now the disk is MBR. Convert into MBR means it is GPT. Want to see? Now the new disk 2 is GPT, 40 GB GPT type of disk. You want to convert into MBR, right click, convert into MBR. Okay, different ways we can do it, guys. Through command prompt also you can do it. So I convert into MBR. So it is 40 GB MBR now. Okay. In
Okay,
MBR,
sir.
how many primary we can create it? So I'm creating a partition, guys. In this one, I didn't mention any primary or secondary kind of stuff. Okay, just I'm giving a volume size, how much partitions I want it. So I want something, it is 4 GB 4096 MB is a 4 GB partition. I want to create it, and there is a drive letter, and the file system is NTFS, and allocation unit size is default. Volume label also not giving. Okay, and a new quick format finish. Okay, now it is one primary partition is created. So you can see one primary partition is created in the disk, 4 GB disk. Remaining is unallocated. Again, I am creating another partition. This time I will create a 2 GB 2048. This is a 2 GB 2048 MB. So you can see I didn't mention any primary or extended or logical drives because in a new version it is removed. This is the 4 GB drive, this is 2 GB drive. Two are created, two are primaries. I am creating third one. Again, maybe I will create a 5 GB, 6 GB, 6144, this is 6 GB. Okay, so three primary completed. Fourth one, I'm creating three partitions I created. So then I will go for a fourth one. New simple volume, unallocated, new simple volume. Next, I'm creating again fourth one as a 2 GB drive, 2048. I didn't mention any primary or extended or logical drive. Just I'm creating a partition. The three primary completed. So what is about the fourth one? Become logical drive. Become a logical drive. In the border, you can see the border color in the extended partition. Means the entire remaining 28 GB become extended partition. Out of 28 GB, 2 GB I have created as a logical drive. Okay, logical drive. So I have still 26 GB free space. In this 26 GB free space, I will create a 4 GB drive, which is automatically become logical drive in this extended volume. So I can create more than three drives, but once three completed, the fourth one is become, from fourth one onwards, it is become logical drive in the extended partition. And you can create multiple logical drives in the extended partition. Guys, understand MBR?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So, how to convert MBR to GPT? See, it is option is not showing. It is grade. Why? Because whenever the partition is created, once it is MBR or GPT, once a partition is created, it cannot convert. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, tell me.
So if we remove the partition and then can it be converted?
Very good. Right. So what to do to convert? So we should not have any partitions in general. Okay, we are not using any third-party tools or commands to do it. So here in this one, we have to completely delete all the partitions it means you loss of data. Then you can convert into GPT. So convert it into GPT. Now it
sir.
is GPT. Again check it. Last time it is MBR. Now it is GPT. Okay. I convert it into GPT. I create a partition. I'm creating a 2048 2 GB partition. I'm creating. So I didn't told anything like create a primary or secondary. I didn't told. Just I creating a partition 1024 1 GB partition this. Two partitions are completed. The blue color. What is blue color represent? A primary drive, but it shows basic data partition. Again 2048. So 3 completed. So I'm going with 4. 4 is 4096. So 4 GB a drive it is. I'm creating. So 4 are completed. 1, 2, 3, 4. But where is the extended partition? Where is the logical drives? Earlier we got it. Now we are not getting it. Why? So I created 5. But where is the logical drive? Or extended partitions? Tell me.
Extended partition in GPT. And sorry, sir, MBR. In MBR.
Very good. Extended logical drives comes in MBR. In GPT, we can create 128 partitions like this. See, basic data partition it is showing, right? Like this, we can create 128. You can see the my disk 0, it's GPT. Lot of small partitions are created. Some are for my recovery system recovery purpose, protection purpose, repairing purpose. Okay, it's created. So guys understand MBR GPT partitions.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Next one is I try to show you one more. Yeah, this is MBR GPT. Shrink and extended volume. This is one of the thing. I showed how to create a simple volume. I showed how to delete a volume. But what is shrink and extended volumes? This is not required. So how to delete a volume? Like this. So I deleted my unallocated space is increasing. Right. So what I want to do is this is 4 GB volume I deleted. Okay. And I want to add this 4 GB to this 2 GB. I want to add this 4 GB to this particular 2 GB. Or maybe I will add to 1 GB then, otherwise it's no confusion. So deleting this 2 GB also. Now this is 1 GB, this is 6 GB. 1 plus 6, 7, right? So I go to 1, click on extend volume, and I'm adding entire 6 GB from it. So now it is become 7 GB. Okay, now it is become 7 GB.
Sir, do one more time.
Yeah, no. We have to delete something. Like I'm deleting this 7 GB. I want to add a 4 GB from this 7 GB to 2 GB. I want to take 4 GB from this No problem. I will add this 7 GB to 2 GB. 7 to 2 means I go to this I drive, right click, extend volume. Okay, so I kept entire thing and it is 7 plus 2 become 9. I'll show you
Yes,
one more, guys.
got it.
This is 2 GB M drive. This is how much? 28 GB. I will take 10 GB from here to here. This is 2 GB. This is 28 GB. 2 GB, right click, extend, next. In this volume, I am taking 10 GB, 1024, 0. 1024 means 1 GB, 0 means 10 GB. It is become 12 GB and it is become 18 GB. This is extending a volume. You can increase the size of the volume. If in case a beside unallocated volume is there, this side unallocated volume is there, you can take a unallocated space to your drive and we can extend it. This is extending a volume. Shrinking volume. What is shrinking volume? You have a volume size. Okay, for example, guys, you buy a laptop. It comes with only C drive, maximum max D drive. Okay, a small D drive like a 20 GB to 40 GB, you will dedicate it for your drivers, small application, you will put it. And remaining entire system is C drive only. It happened to my laptop also. Then what I have done, it is I got 500 GB, 20 GB or 30 GB is given here. So remaining is the remaining C drive is one single C drive only. So what I have done, I have a files, my personal files are there, documents are there, video files are there, audio files are there, applications are there. So what I have done, I divide this drive. This is I given 200 GB and this is remaining around a 240 GB like that I have taken. Then it is become automatically F drive. Okay, so you can see my drives. C drive, D drive. D drive is a 25 GB. C drive 218 GB. And where is F drive? 205 GB. 205, 25. Okay, and that is 218. It is how much? It is 30 plus 20, 50. Okay, and it is 450 around, means 500 GB. The others we are giving for other storage purpose, right? So it is 218 for C drive, 205 for F drive, D drive is 25 GB. Okay, so how I got this F drive? By shrinking volume, by shrinking the volume. Let's understand scenarios.
Yes.
Guys, I have a one drive, another hard disk I inserted here. Okay, so one is it's a 1 terabyte of disk, E drive, H drive, Z drive. This is 200. This is 200. The H drive 531 GB. So I will show you that one. My H drive 531 GB. And these are not required. So I'm deleting. So just a virtual hard disk, guys, just to show the practicals by detaching it. Okay, so this is 200, 531.51 GB, 0.51 GB, and this is free space contains currently 46 GB free space. Sorry, 86 GB free space. You can see my H drive total is 531, 86 GB free space, 445 GB already taken. Look at here, 86 GB free space. 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, and of course it is MBR. Remember, it is MBR. And this is primary, and this is also a primary. Now I want a 40 GB out of this free space. Out of this free space, I want a 40 GB disk. So I will string the volume, then I will get a 40 GB unallocated now. Okay, so remaining free space is become 46 GB only. So you will get a free space 46. And the disk total H drive size will be reduces. It is around 491. Your disk become 491 and free space become 46. Okay, and I will get a 40 GB additional volume. I'll show you how to do it, guys. Look at here. G drive, E drive, H drive. Right click on H drive, shrink the volume. Right click on H drive, shrink the volume. Before you do any time, guys, very careful. You need a practice, and while you do every step, look at the step and properly understand and do it. And prefer not to do it in your physical machines. If you have a know how to do with the virtual machines, you can try on the virtual machines. No problem. But physical machines, you do mistake, it is a mistake. Okay, guys, here it is. It's showing 88054. But what I want 40960 means it's a 40 GB. I am shrinking from the H drive. H drive is 531 GB. H drive it is. Now what happened? The H drive become 491 and 40 GB got separated like this. 491 and 40 GB unallocated. So 3 partitions and unallocated partition also came now. So you can see 531 become 491 and free space 86 become 46. That is showing red in color suddenly. Why? Because of free space is reduced now, heavily reduced. Okay, so I'm creating a 10 GB drive from this 40 GB. How to do it? 40 GB, right click, new simple volume, new simple volume. Next, 10240 means it is a 10 GB I'm creating. So what will happen when we create? Guys, it's MBR. 3 primary partitions are there. So I'm creating the 4th one in this 40 GB unallocated. So what partition become? Logical drive. The partition which we are creating is a logical drive in your extended partition. See, 10 GB logical drive is created. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Logical drive and shrinking volume.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, can we match two drives which has data?
Yeah, you can try on the volume which is having a data, because my H drive having a data. This
But
is
we
my H
can't
drive.
split, right? But we could not gonna split, right?
No, full. It is already data is full. You cannot split.
Okay.
We
Sir.
can do only if any free space is available. I have 86 GB free space out of 531 GB. 86 GB free space.
Suppose I have one drive has a space of 200 GB and another drive has space of 100 GB.
Very
Can we
good.
match it? Can we match it? That is the free space actually. Out of 500, one drive has 200 GB space, and out of 300, one drive has 100 GB space.
I got it. So one drive is 200. Another drive is like a out of 200, 100 GB is free. Okay,
Yes.
only 100 GB is used. Here it
Okay,
is
sir.
some other drive. 100 GB is free from
Okay,
here,
yes,
or
sir.
maybe 50 GB is free. Think like this is 50 GB free, 100 MB is free, 100 GB is free. So if you even you sync it, so 100 GB full data drive it is. Now it is unallocated 100 GB, unallocated 100 GB. Same goes here. 50 GB.
So by matching and then dividing, can we segregate like that, sir? Like all the data all the space which is already filled with data into one drive and the empty space into the one drive. Like, can we do it, sir?
We do it. That's the process I'm telling. So you have this is one single drive earlier. For example, this is E drive and this is F drive. So what I have done, out of 200, what is the free space I have taken? Shrink the volume. Here 50 GB free space, I shrink the volume. Now you cannot connect this 100 plus 50. You can't connect it in generally. You have to use third-party tools. Means generally this 100 and this 50 cannot be added, because it is always a rule beside rule. For example, this is D drive. D drive beside there is an unallocated space 50 GB. Unallocated space is there. We can merge it. This is we cannot do it. I mean this side won't merge. This side will merge and must be beside. And as you said, I have a different drives. One is something 200 GB drive, another is 500 GB drive, another is 200 GB drive is there. Each drive having small data. One is having 50 GB, another having a 10 GB, another having a only 20 GB. Remaining is free space only. So I want to get all the free space one side and become one large disk, and all the data things into one another drive and become a separate disk. In that cases, what to do? If you have any external hard disk, or transfer the data into only one drive and cut it properly. It means
So directly we can't match those two drives, right?
yes. Copy this 150 GB data into this drive or any external drive. Then delete the partitions and recreate properly, and you can do it. By default, we cannot do it, guys. You can use certain third-party tools. We can adjust. because drives are completely logical and it is based on the sector numbers that we cannot able to manipulate or modify. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good, good. Guys, this is my primary completed. This is become extended volume. In that one, logical drive is created. So to do that one, what I have done, I use shrinking the volume. Now what I'm going to do is I'm deleting this. I don't need this volume, so I'm deleting this one. I got a 40 GB unallocated beside my H drive. I want to add this entire 40 GB to H drive. So then my drive size will increases, free space also increases, right? So how to merge 40 to this H drive? Go to H drive, right click, extend volume. Yeah, this is 40 GB. It is showing. So now I need to type finish. So enter 40 GB, the unallocated added to your H drive. Now it is see refresh. It is become 531 GB and free space is 46 GB. Okay, this is a disk volume. Volume writes levels also there, simple span, striped mirror and write file kind of stuff. Also we can do with the disk management. But in disk management, I showed simple volume, shrinking, extending and deleting volumes also. Yeah. The last one, guys, for this session. Okay, file system. Okay, it is okay. You have a drive, you have a volume, you have a drive, but in this drive, I have to put a data. This drive, I have to put a data inside. Okay, but how the data should be arranged? How the data is arranged? So you have a resume. In resume, you have to put your data. The first one is your hobbies. Next one is your address. And next one is about your qualification. The last one may be your name. Maybe something your neighbor's information. Maybe your village information. Maybe your others means your college information. Is it a correct one or not? No. I told some order. Arrangement.
Yes, sir.
Right? So how to arrange the data? How to arrange the data in the proper order is told by your file system. Either you want to store a data in the pen drive or memory card, maybe CD-ROM, maybe hard disk, maybe SSD. Important one is file system. Important one is file system. Without a file system, you cannot store data into your device. Okay, different file systems. In Windows, we use FAT and NTFS, and nowadays we are all using mainly NTFS only. Okay, so why not FAT? Because of FAT having two versions. The older version is support up to 4 GB of drive. Means one single partition, it support up to 4 GB only. FAT32, the single partition support is 32 GB. One single partition size is it support up to 32 GB only. But nowadays we required bigger partition size because we have a bigger data sizes also. So we are getting a NTFS. NTFS, each partition support more than 2 terabytes. Okay. So as per little older textbooks, it is 18 EB maximum size, 18 EB. Guys, NTFS not only the bigger size file support and bigger partition support, other features also there like a security, encryption, compression, quota, and indexing. What is a security? To secure your data from unauthorized access. Your allow or deny particular user or a group to access your data. So I will show you a small thing. Right click on any file, go to the properties, security. This is the security, guys. NTFS security is ACL, not antivirus. Virus or antivirus. The security, you can give a user to whether they can read your data or write your data, allow to read, allow to write, allow deny to read, deny to write kind of stuff. Okay, so that is security features. Encrypting data is encrypted, so then only encryption certificate people only can able to access the data. Compression. Data, we can compress the data, so then we can save the disk space. Disk quota, user wise quota, this particular user can able to access or can able to store up to this limit of data in the disk. For example, I have 2 terabyte of disk is there. People are keep putting the data, so I can able to restrict only this particular user, only to the users, those who are accessing to the users, they can able to store up to 20 GB per head, like that per user. Okay, guys, FAT file system is kind of universal file system, means different type of devices, different type of operating support FAT. That's why our memory cards, pen drives by default FAT formatted one. But nowadays the memory cards and pen drives more than 32 GB. Even the memory cards are in the 64 GB, 128, 256, up to 2 terabyte of memory card is available, but FAT support up to 32 GB. So now the new file system is came, which is extend for your FAT, extended FAT, exFAT, which is you can store more than 32 size of memory cards or SD cards. Okay, it will support, and as well as you can store a big files also. Partition more than 32 GB, exFAT can able to support. Another file system, resilient file system, you use ERC to prevent data from corruption. Linux and Unix also using a file system, ext, ext2, ext3, ext4 kind of stuff. XFS is also one of the Linux based file system. You're sharing your files, NFS, CIFS kind of stuff. So that is also comes under file system, network file system, common internet file system, usually for network sharing purpose. Use DVD. DVD file system is UDF, universal disk format. Guys, we are always tell format means clean up the PC, clean up the drive, like someone given a pen drive to you, format this pen drive, format this pen drive. So the meaning is connect a pen drive, go to the format option, do the format, So then data in the pen drive will be removed. Originally, the format means it defines the file system. Defining and redefining means your pen drive having already a file system. You are defining with the same file system. Then it is your redefining. It's a pen drive or memory card. First time you are inserting a memory card. First time you are a hard disk, or first time a partition is created, newly fresh partition is created. So you have to define the file system by creating or telling this is the file system while doing format. Format means define or redefining the file system. Okay, guys, this is we discussed about a hard disk, SSDs, and different other storage and partition styles like MBR and GPT. Okay, and also we discussed about a file system today. Anything understand, guys? Nothing understand or anything understand? Something understand?
Clearly understand.
Got it, sir.
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay. This is called boot processing, and this is troubleshooting at boot processing, guys. This is important. So to understand this one, also there is a word called MBR will come here. See it is MBR. Okay. And next one is about operating system. So we have to discuss after this one about operating system and about the system troubleshooting also. Okay. That's it for today. So Monday I will tell about a boot processing and boot processing troubleshooting and few other things. Okay, and also I will forward certain videos, guys. Please check it, and also test. Write down the tests also. I will put it. Okay. Compulsory. Once test completed, mark as a done. Okay. I didn't release your test things yesterday, or I released. I didn't remember. What kind of questions they will ask in interview? Very good, guys. Questions are mainly what is hard disk, SATA, PATA, what is SATA, what is PATA, hard disk and SSD difference. Hard disk and SSD is difference. Better to know, remember SSD interfaces, SATA interface M.2 and how it is connected. If you understand, good, otherwise leave it. So go to hard disk and SSD differences is important. Okay, about a partitioning of hard disk, file system, 1 or 2 questions. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Questions are always, guys, what are you learn, what you know. Important is what it is. Second one is differences. Third one is troubleshooting, means any issues occur, how you deal with that issue. Okay.
Sir, can you share some questions?
What it is?
Can you share some questions?
I think I shared, otherwise I will share it again. Okay. So last batch, one batch, Hyderabad batch, one batch, 4 or 5 questions are there, and the list of questions also there, means a notepad with a lot of questions are there. See the questions and first check that. Check the question, how they will asking. Yeah, no afternoon class. Okay, Monday only. Okay, because you got a time, guys. So prepare for either technical and of course not either. So first technical and as well as your communication, mainly interview questions. Wise, guys, personal questions are very important, and technically there is a basic questions are there also. Question and try to tell an answer yourself. Take a question, practice answering. So I will share today, so don't worry. Okay. Of course, no afternoon class tomorrow, Monday. We will meet you. Bye. Bye
Thank you,
guys.
sir.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.